So, hello. I didn't publicise this event because I wasn't sure of the time scale that I'm going to get here, but I'm here at the haunted Daffodale Inn, and the owner, Scott, is going to show us around a bit and tell us some of the ghost stories. So,
hey, how are you? Good to see you. I'm glad that you're here to do this. I'm glad you're here in general, but I'm glad that you're doing this because we've had many movies made, and whether they believe it, they don't believe it, honestly, I don't really care because I know that they are here. I have many, many, many photos of them. I do not know where that is when I look in my mirror or my window panes, but the ancients knew. Nostradamus, Socrates, they all knew that there were other places and access ability if you just knew how to do it. Well, I don't think I know how to do it, but I think maybe they are here because they feel that it's a comfortable thing. I respect them, whoever they are, and they seem to respect me, and they have called my name twice. My wife and myself have heard it, and they just know who I am. We've had sensitive people in here, and they have said that they appreciate the fact that I show us them. They want to be noticed. Now, of course, on the TV shows, they insinuate that. We have reality shows about this place in the U.S., but I gotta tell you, it's weird. It's as weird gets when you know that it's a reality and you see some of them and they don't look good. And you question, if they look that way, where is there? Now, this is not a show where there's embellishment, producer, director embellishment. This is not that. What this is a real place that it's been insinuated the ancient Indians from thousands of years ago were here. There's an ancient mound system near here. It's the highest mound in Florida, we believe. And being a guide in the 1970s in Costa Rica, I could tell you that I used to lead people up onto these places where the ancients would go closest to their deities, and we would find pottery and stuff. We'd go down, and then I would tell them, okay, if you guys are okay with this, I am going to introduce you to the viejos. And those are the old men that live in the jungle. If you're an old man, you're looking at water, you're looking at trees, you don't have much else to do. They see the ovnis. The ovnis are the UFOs. They are in Costa Rica. They go in and out of the waterways. There's been many pictures of them going into the volcanoes. Pretty wild. And I have been there almost just under 60 years, and it's still crazy there, but the most beautiful place, I believe, on this earth. So I've done a lot of crazy stuff. That's why they've done the whole reality show on my life, because I follow my heart. I don't follow other people's hearts, and that's the thing that bothers me, and that's why some of the older folks will do the shoulda, coulda, woulda. Oh, I should have done that. I could have done it. I would have done it. Well, I'm telling you, I follow my heart. So I just want to let you know I'm going to take you around to see my Victorian estate. And they have also been spotted on the estate. Walking on my estate at night is pretty weird. But if any of you want to come and visit, I wish you luck.
Right, you wanna do it?
Did you get any of that?
Yeah. we're live on Facebook. We've got some watchers too.
Oh, really? That was live?
So how old is the Daffodil?
Daffodel House is 1897, 1904. It was completed. So it's pretty old.
How long have you been here?
I think I was here from the 1700s. At least that's what my mother says. Only kidding. No, we've been here about 22 years and renovating. We're now about to do a paint. We're going to paint the whole house, pressure wash it, and make it pristine. And it's wonderful, but it's not pristine the way we'd like to see it. And it deserves that, because when I came here, I looked at this place as some woman that needed a new dress. And I was going to be the one to give her that dress. Now my wife is here. She runs everything, all the different businesses, and I start them. But I can't run them. I don't have that kind of mind.
It'll be interesting because it's often reported when renovations take place that there's an increase in activity. So.
There's no doubt about that. I'm sure that that's happened here. I haven't clocked that to see if it's so, but I've heard that. Now, a very curious situation just happened, and there was a man and a woman outside the house, and he was older, she was younger. I find out that he lived on the top floor as a kid, and he wanted to bring his daughter here to show her where he grew up. So we opened up our door here, and then there's another door that goes into a room that has a lot of my stuff in it, but that's where the grandfather hung out. He walked into that situation first. The daughter was second, I was third. I was right there, this just happened maybe a month ago. He puts his foot into the room where his grandpa hung out. My entire house lost electricity. That has never happened. I found out from the police, nobody had a problem. But as soon as he put his foot in there, all the house went off. And in my heart, I knew that it was his grandfather accepting the fact that his grandson had returned. I really do believe that. There's no doubt. It was very weird.
Where do we want to go first?
Let's walk out this way. Just be careful on the stairs here. Sorry, I didn't put on my chimes.
If we lose signal, we'll come back.
Now, are we still on? The property is renowned for having more old-growth camellia flowering trees than anywhere in this state for the same property size. Hold on, let's ring the bell. I love that bell, but thank God when I saw it at a garage sale, it was only $20. Otherwise, Bell would not have been here. These are azaleas. Now, if you look at the house, we just put that roof on. The other one was on since the beginning, and we switched it out. And my wife knew it would be a very big deal to do that, and that I'd probably go crazy. So she handed me an envelope, and she said, "Honey, open the envelope." And I said, "Okay, honey, whatever you think." I opened it up, and it was a plane ticket to Costa Rica for 5 weeks in my friend's hotel. She knew she needed me out of here. This is such an unusual place that when this landed there, it was alive. I don't know if you have ginkgo biloba trees in your country.
No, Paranormal.
Okay, that is the largest ginkgo biloba tree that any arborist has ever seen. And ginkgo biloba, the leaves get taken out, and they take the sap, and they make a drug, ginkgo biloba. So this is a very special thing. And I had one lady that was here one night on the tour, and I told her that they're on the ground. I said, oh yes, those leaves help with memory. She jumps over, she goes, picks up a handful of this stuff, and jams it in her throat and starts chewing on it. And all the people in the tour, it was the day the earth stood still. Nobody could move looking at this woman chewing. But yeah, if you want to take a picture of some of the flowers. Yeah, these are one of the last ones. We're at the end of the season. We have a gazebo, so if you want to get married or if you want to get divorced, we do divorces too. And those are fun. Now, this is a over 200-year black walnut, and we were offered a lot of money for this. The wood is great for gun stocks, golf clubs, furniture. People pay a lot of money for that wood. So the guy comes here, he offers me a lot of money for that tree, and I don't cut the trees down, I just don't like to do that. And I went to my wife inside, I said, look inside on the computer. She looked at it, it was more than what the man was offering. And I looked at her with a great amount of love. And I said, honey, what do we do? And she looked at me back with love, and she said, cut that baby down.
So where are we going?
I'll just say a little bit about her.
Okay.
That actually someone stole the mask, but that's my COVID lady. We all should have one on our property. Now the pine trees are enormous on this property. This one is a cathedral oak, and we believe it's over 400 years old. It's enormous. That is really a big place. I don't have anybody staying in there, so we can go in if you want. Hard to say, you know? Watch your steps. And watch your step over here. That's that bag of concrete that got wet. You got to use everything you got. Come on in.
So that's the old carriage house then?
Yeah, this is cowboy and Indian. So it's a lot of fun for people to stay in here. It's very quiet. They can do their work from their business. We got a new bathroom in there. And this was a carriage house where they had horses, Model T, Model A, old Volkswagen. And, you know, the Volkswagen they left. They took the other ones. And that's very collectible. An old Volkswagen like that from the 50s or early 60s. So I loved it, and I had my friend call his friend. The guy came here very quickly with his flatbed truck, backed it down the road, put his clip on the front and started pulling that Volkswagen on his flatbed, and it broke in half. So he was not a happy puppy, and I looked at him and I said, "You're the luckiest man I have ever met." He said, "How could you say that? Don't you see what just happened?" I looked at him with love, and I said, "You now have 2 Volkswagens." He didn't love that. I think he wanted to hurt me, but it was fun. You know, he didn't think so, but I got a kick out of it. So people love to stay in here. The bed is very comfortable. It's just, you have all the TVs and all the newfangled stuff. And I love cowboys and Indians, so we decided to make this room that.
So did I read some of it? A cemetery that you got here.
What kind?
A cemetery?
There's a cemetery near here.
Okay.
And that would probably be, that is Civil War, if you look really close. I used to have a project Final Respect, and we tried to clean it up legally, because you can't legally go into cemeteries and start messing with them. But we cleaned up a lot until we just didn't do it anymore. Tried to be a part of the community for many years. Now we're just busy.
So any other stories about ghosts? There's a lady scene on the ground.
Yes, let's go down there and let me show you where and what happened with that lady. That was strange. Thanks, let's go to our left. See the size of that dirt?
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing. This is the Buddha contemplation area.
Mm-hmm.
People will sit here and they'll contemplate Buddha. You see, he was a human being, a special human being, and they love coming. I love coming down here. I think the guy's pretty cool. Yeah, like a lot of stuff.
Ebberbachs. They're bigger than the G's in Scotland, but don't bite so much.
Yours don't bite in
No,
Scotland?
no, they do bite. They're very tiny, but they do bite a lot.
Oh, but we have no see 'em. You can't see them, but they bite you good.
Oh, that would be it. Oh,
It's a pretty one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hate to see them go, but it's God's will.
Daffodel right at home.
Yeah, you got Daffodale? Yeah, I think that there was a lot of daffodils here, and I think the amount of them would be a dale. That's a pretty. We're gonna go down this way, but that's just wanted to, if you want to show, take a shot of that. This is the bamboo forest. Oh, there's a kitty. When it's raining a little bit or there's wind, they sing and they talk like humans. Now, FSU Film School, which is world renowned for young people trying to be in the film business, they came here and part of the film they made, they drew a Bigfoot over here in the dirt, and a big part that I had was going on my knees, touching it with my hands, smelling it. They had the cameras, the lights, and then a big foot. This is a big part. Bigfoot. That was a big part, okay? And then we did the UFO thing in the forest. This was a Costa Rican forest.
Okay.
And we did the same thing with UFO. That was fun. Property stop. These are magnolia trees. This is one of them. They're very big, very old. And that one is Japanese, the biggest one that any arborist has seen of Japanese ones. And that's one right there. This is another contemplation area. Some flowers there. Now this one is called Pink Perfection. And it's just perfect. That's the only one I can remember the name. They all have names, but what can I tell you? Now I think what they did in the early days was they put big metal pots in here and they roasted, like, not animals, but I think the trees and the sap.
Mm-hmm.
I think they did that in the 1800s. Another black walnut. We're going to take that one down.
I did read a bit of the white lady that's seen on the ground.
What's that?
I did read some on the internet about the white lady seen on the ground.
Oh yes, the lady she came to do some yard work, and I told her don't cut certain camellias. She decided that that's not how she wanted to listen to what I said. So she cut it, and as soon as she did, it was right over there. As soon as she did that, she saw a man with like a worker's hat coming out of the top of the tree, like rising. And she threw everything down on the floor and ran away. So she never got paid, and I questioned her what happened because we didn't pay you.
Yeah.
And that's when she said, I didn't listen to you, and there was a guy, and I think the guy used to work here.
Okay.
You know, if you have a good time in a
Yeah,
place, you
yeah.
might stay there after what this is. Yeah, these are pretty here. These are one of the last ones, too. Get it. That's beautiful. I thought they were creatures when I first came here. They said, you got all these camellias. Oh my God, did they crawl? I didn't know what they were. But we do parties out here. We did weddings at one time. Now, in the building has 4 floors. This is the first floor, which I do not like to go in.
Okay. Anything happen there?
Well, just, you know, that heebie-jeebie feeling you get?
Okay.
I can't really say I get that pretty much. I get it in there. So in there and on the top, I have photos in the windows of others. Did you want to bring, I don't know, can you, if there's a window up there, can you get it on your camera? It's on the other side, but can you get the distance?
Yeah,
Let's
should
go
be.
over there and let's see if you guys get anything, but the people or the beings that were in the window pane was eerie.
That one.
The top one, the very top one. Yeah. That one up there on the top. Both windows.
mannequins up there. The mannequins up there.
Yes. Yes, that definitely up there. Yeah, but I mean, I had to go up there for certain reasons, and you know, I had the ghost trackers years ago. I'll go up there asking questions, and then they got answers.
Yeah.
So they're up there, but the ones that I have the picture of, I feel awkward even being in there. I always have. Can't say that I've seen with my eyes anything up there, but I know that they're there. All right, let's go around this way. Oh God, I thought the entities got you.
I'm just saying we booked the safari room, which I've read that's the most haunted room, so I'm just
Yeah, that's where the lady was levitated, and her friend had to hold her down.
okay. I did not read that.
And I won't say what she did for her business, but it's a very big business that she owns.
Okay.
So she wasn't some kind of a nut that you'd say, "Ah, come on, give me a break." That's where I keep her in the house. Oh, it's empty already. There's something big. Huh?
Okay. How long ago was that? How long ago was that the lady stayed in the room?
At least a year and a half.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, it kind of blew him away. And I did, what do you say?
Okay. You might not have booked that
And I
room.
got this car for sale if anybody's interested. MGB. I can go. By the way, this is a 48-inch Dutch door. And you could have privacy if you didn't want someone to come into your house. You could still talk to them. Am I continuing now, or?
Do you want to do
Yeah, I
put
can,
in here?
yeah, I can do here. This, we believe, is the original death certificate of Harry Houdini.
Oh.
I haven't had authenticity on it because I got so many things that need that. But that's a pretty extraordinary thing, especially if it turns out to be
How did you come by that?
vendors, people
Okay.
that have stuff that they don't know what they got. Now this, you guys know who the Bee Gees are.
Mm-hmm.
That's the original Maurice Gibb Rode guitar case of the Bee Gees.
Okay.
That's very historic. The greatest maker in history of violins, Stradivarius.
Okay.
That's a Stradivarius. I've got 5. Because people don't look in here. If they did, they'd know what they had.
Okay.
Okay, let's go. Oh, by the way, that's a burial urn from the early 1800s with the person in it.
Okay.
That's pretty.
A lot of artifacts.
I do.
So has anybody seen anything in the stairs or in the ground floor?
They're everywhere in the house. The orb, the white and the little blue purple ones,
Okay.
they're everywhere. It's just if, are you taking pictures? If you just, will you see them with your eyeballs? Animals will. Humans, not usually. Gotta have a camera. Now in here, I have a mirror that's from a man in our country that was spread out all over the world, and that man was, well, I can't really say who it was, but he was known as one of the most money cherished people that ever was in our century. And he lost his kids. It's very sad, the story, but that came from his estate. That is, of course, a nephrite jade, ancient depiction of a Japanese war yacht. And you won't see one of those. No? That's pretty amazing. And this, I have, people try to open that up, and I say, look, don't do it. I have my ex-wives in there. And they like look at me, is he for real? This came from, let's just say, an ex-president's wife's place. Okay. And that's a 16th century piece of furniture. We think from Geneva.
Okay.
So that's pretty strange.
Yeah, because we often come across stories that items have attachments.
I've heard that.
Somebody is really attached to something.
Yes. Can you imagine how many attachments
yes,
I got?
I am beginning
oh my
to realize
God,
that
I got a lot of
tonight.
attachments. Now we believe, and if it turns out to be real, this man is a very famous man from our history, our United States. And we had a president called Lincoln that may be John Wilkes Booth. And if it is him, because what happened with the family was they were so embarrassed that he did what he did, they changed their features and they changed their names. We believe that that's John Wilkes Booth and that's his death box. Okay. And we believe that his name was changed to William Ross Boodle. Okay. That's another very important thing if it turns out to be right. Very important. I collect baseball, memorabilia, from the comics. There's not much that I really don't collect, honestly. Banks. We were in the jewelry business in New York, so I have costume jewelry. Yeah. So I have a lot of costume jewelry that my mother was a big designer in New York. And I got trains, I got albums. These are things I collect. Come on in here. This is what was a library. Now it's just a place to put more of my stuff. But I got all kinds of collectibles over there. And that mirror in there is where we get a lot of them. In that mirror and in that mirror, the big one.
Is it in photos you seeing something, or
I think
just with your eyes?
I see. Well, we see it once it's on the photographs or the phones.
Okay.
So at the part of my ghost tour, I let people take their phones out. Don't use my phone because I think I manipulated it. Use your own phone and see what you come up with. It blows people's minds. I guess they were skeptical. No way, guy comes in. My wife loves this stuff. I'm here because of my wife. He went in that room, took some photos, came out, and he looked at me and said, "Who's this?" I said, "Brother, go to God, because I have no idea who that is." But that was there anybody else in the room? No. What do you want me to tell you?
Yeah, we do events as well. We get skeptical people come along and something happens and they leave not skeptical.
Yeah, no, to see it, first place, beautiful. Yeah. I love it.
Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to tonight.
Yes.
There should have been a bit more stories about the things here, but anyway, I'll maybe do some videos. I've got some equipment I've taken over with me. Maybe do some videos and post it on the Facebook page later. So
No, I do close it down at 10. I really do. So no one.
So yeah. So I'll post anything later on the Facebook page. So this is the Daffodel Inn. So if anybody wants to come and stay in Florida and have a haunted experience and have a great look around at all these lovely things, you're most welcome. So bye for now. See you later.
See ya. Be safe. I love you all.